Good morning, folks. Today is Sunday, June 2nd, day 106. We're just getting ready to head out. Don't know how far we're going to go today. I know we're going to have to get off at about 13 and a half miles to do a resupply. Probably going to have to hitch a ride there. I think it's about 3 miles off trail, but we are out of food. So I think I got enough to make it through the day, but we'll never make it to tomorrow if I don't stop and get a resupply. So we're going to do that today. Not supposed to be too tough a day ahead of us. I think the trail's supposed to be pretty smooth. So we're going to head on out there, and we'll be hitting the trail in just a minute. So we'll see you once we get out there. Getting started this morning. Got a good start. Kind of a cool morning, which is good. I'd say it's in the low 60s right now. It's supposed to get up to like 76 today, so it's not going to be a real hot day. So that's nice. It's going to be cloudy all day, but I don't think they're calling for rain. Let's go ahead and acknowledge the trail while we're here. So it's going to stay overcast today. May not get any pretty sunshiny pictures, but it'll be a nice day to hike. As long as we don't get that wet stuff. Hey, got us a new bridge coming up. This thing looks brand new. I'm thankful for it because I know we could cross that creek. It's not very deep, but there's a lot of rocks. So I'll take it when I can get it. There's actually two bridges here. Campsite off to the left. It's got a family camp in it, so I'm not gonna video over there. Got the kids and everybody else playing. Nice place to camp though, especially when you see the water right here. I could see me as a kid getting in and playing in this, and they probably have. Actually, I could see me as an adult getting in this and soaking my feet. It'd be a good place if there weren't a family sitting there. It'd be a good place to take a bath. So, no soap, of course, but at least get some of the funk off. We've been out here 2 or 3 days. You start getting a little ripe. I'd said the trail was going to be pretty easy today. I'd forgotten we don't have many hill climbs, but we do have a couple. And we're just about to finish up the first one. It's about a 1,000-foot hill climb. And it does not have switchbacks. It just climbs straight up the hill. Sort of like that right there. So hopefully we'll be there in just a little bit. A little rocky, but very picturesque. Makes for some beautiful scenery. Take a little short side trail. It's supposed to be a great view up here. This is called Chimney Rock. It's another one of those rocks with a name that I think every state has a chimney rock somewhere. We're gonna go up here and see what it looks like. And if I can, depending on how bad the walk is, I'm gonna try to let this run so you see it as I see it. If I can do it safely. This is one where I put my trekking poles down and I got my pack off. And there's a nice tree to hold on to right here. Oh yeah. Oh wow. So this is Pennsylvania, folks. Even got a rock balancing right there. Interesting to see. Nice pond down there. Pretty good sized hole down in those rocks. I guess there's a trail that goes down in those too if you wanted to go down there. We're not going to do that. You can tell it's overcast today and cool, so that feels real good. Guess this could almost qualify as our tunnel for the day. Doesn't go quite overhead, but we have noticed that the terrain is changing just a little bit. You got these little, I guess they're spruces. I'm not sure what kind of conifer they are. They're sort of sprinkled on the trail here and there. They look like spruces. I'm not quite sure. The needles look a little bit longer. It's not a whole forest full of them though. They're just sprinkled in the forest. Oops. Starting to see a few more hemlocks. So the terrain is definitely changing on us. I had one of my subscribers that watched one of my my video the other day where we were excuse me, when I set up on a wooden platform at Blackburn Trail Center, and asking how I did that and asking if I'd talk a little bit about it. So we got a pretty flat spot here, so I guess I could talk about it a little bit. As you know, I got a Z-Pax Duplex L, which is the long version. And it's a trekking pole tent. And those can be a challenge on a wooden platform. And I never had set up one on a wooden platform. So I wanted to try it while I was there, where if I couldn't do it, I still had a place to do it. Because when you get up north a little further, in some places you're required to set up on those wooden platforms. So I got it set up. And what you have to do, I don't know if all of them are like this, but that platform had cleats on it similar to or exactly like a boat dock would have on it. I was able to use those cleats to put the guy lines for my poles on to get the tension across the ridge line, which is your main support. Of course, you're not going to get you left and right. The tent will still fall over with that. So there were a couple other cleats on it that I could use for two of the corners. And in the other two corners, what I had to do was there was enough space in between the slats of the wooden platform that I could take my tent stake and slide it in underneath the edge sideways to give something to put a loop of my tent line around to get it tightened down. And that got all four corners and the ridge line, but the Duplex L has a middle section in there that raises up. Fortunately, that line, the tent was close enough to the ground, or the platform was close enough to the ground that I was able to take that line and put it in the ground beside it. That's how I got it done. Should have shown you a picture of it. Like I said, that was the first time I'd ever done it, so I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it. Just came out on a road, gravel road, so we're doing a little road walk right now, trying to find the trail. I think I just found it. Well, that was just another trail. I didn't go down it, thank goodness. Bluegrass saw it right before I turned down. If you look way up above us, you can see some blazes on a tree. That's where we go back in. We'll be going in there in just a minute. Got a rocky area coming up here. May even have a little bit of a view. Very little bit. But we've got some view over here. Just a little bit of another ridge line over there. Looks like it. Yeah, looks like the rocks are going to turn left. We don't have to climb that big rock. Thought we were going to have to climb that right there. Not too bad. There's a sign back there. I think that's called Rocky Mountain. I can see why. The trail does go up this time, so this should be interesting. Yeah, it looks like it. That was fun. Well, we made it to Highway 63. There's a barbecue place right down the road. And Dollar General to get resupplied. We're just about completely out of food. We have to get a resupply. Hate going this far off trail, but hopefully we'll get us a ride back. Going through Caledonia State Park right now. Nice bridge. Got the river. We're talking now whether we're going to try to stay here or go on 2 miles up trail, stay at a shelter. We'll see. My vote's to go up trail, but we'll see how it goes. Getting kind of late in the evening. For us anyway, it's a little after 5 o'clock. Trying to make it to the next shelter, which is only about a mile up. Gonna be a short day. Well, relatively short compared to what we've been doing. It's a 15-mile day probably. Maybe just a little bit under that, 14 and a half, something like that. But we did get to go to a Dollar General, resupplied a little bit. They'll last us for another couple days. And went by the Highway 63 barbecue. The gentleman running that place was nice enough to take us to the Dollar General and bring us back to the trail. So give a big shout out to him and to his place. Barbecue was pretty dang good. So we should be at our site in just a little while, and I'll video a little bit when we get there. Okay, I thought I was gonna make do with a tunnel from earlier today that wasn't really a tunnel, but we got our tunnel now. I don't know what this gate is. I guess it's to keep four-wheelers out, or horses or something. And we have rhododendrons again. Hadn't seen those in a while. We are definitely in a tunnel here. Coming into the Cory Gap shelter. It's a beautiful shelter. Got flowers hanging. Got a nice covered picnic table. clean fire pit. Got our trail gnomes over here working. This is absolutely beautiful. You don't often see these. This is nice. It's about as clean a shelter as I believe I've ever seen. Got our bear box over there. This is a tent tie down. I guess I'm gonna set my tent up right here. So we talked about it this morning. I'll go ahead and show you guys once I get it set up. I am glad that I practiced the other night on how to get this done, because I had to do it again today. And today, unless you sleep in the shelter, the only place to get your tent set is on one of these pads. Because if you'll see the signs back there at the fence, they say no tenting unless you're on one of these pads. So let me show you how I did it. You can see my guy lines on this first side. There was an eyelet, and I got the eyelet done. So that allowed me to pull that one. And if you look down here, there was another eyelet that I was able to loop around. The center pole I've not yet done, but I've got room in the ground. I can put me a stake in the ground right there. I just hadn't done it yet. This corner, I came through with just a little shepherd's hook stake and got that in. On the back side, there's plenty of room. If I'd have to do it again, I'll know to get a little bit more centered. I might could use that chain on the end. But what I did was able to get the shepherd's hook in between the slats, and the friction sideways held enough tension to where I've got the center line done. Came over here, I was out of shepherd's hook, but there was a gap in between there to where I could again friction fit a stake in there, and friction fit a stake in there, and one in there. And I could have tied off with the ropes, but I didn't want to. These ropes are pre-tied, pre-looped, so I didn't want to do that. But either way, I got it to work. Looks like a pretty good pitch. So I think we're going to be in good shape on that one. This is going to be it for tonight. We're going to sit here and edit some videos. Not really that hungry. I might eat a little snack. We ate that barbecue earlier today, and I ate plenty of it, so I'm good and full. So this is probably going to be it for tonight. So we'll see you back on the trail tomorrow morning. Until then, this is Bandit, and we're still heading north.